Let me start the recording. Hopefully this will work. So this is, I want to welcome everyone. This is our first boot camp call. And I just kind of want to go over everything with you. I've posted in a number of places and I've tried to answer all the questions and people keep asking me the same questions. So, hopefully everybody will get it. Everybody will, get all your questions answered, and we'll open it up at the end and kind of talk about any questions that you have. So hopefully the meeting won't be too long. So I just want to lay out the format for everybody. What this boot camp is that it's a 10-day boot camp. Okay, it's a Facebook group. You guys are all in it. There's going to be training that will be Monday through Friday. So really the group will go through the weekend, so it'll really be 12 days or longer, but I'm not counting those. So it'll be Monday through Friday and then Monday through Friday the next week. It'll consist of 2 webinars this week and 2 webinars next week. Both webinars, or all 4 webinars, will be recorded, okay? So if you miss a webinar, don't worry about it. I'll post them in the group. All 4 webinars will be posted in the group, and they'll be kept in the group for the entire time the group is open, and that'll be longer than the 10 days, okay? So you can watch them, get caught up. If you miss a day, that's fine. The daily posts will be like today. It'll be watch a video, do a homework assignment, something like that. It'll be similar to like a Coach Basics or something that you've been involved with in the past. So hopefully that's, no big surprise for anybody. Now the webinars are going to consist of, this kickoff webinar, which is me tonight, and I'll answer any questions that you guys have. It will also be Wednesday at 9 o'clock, not at 8 o'clock. So this Wednesday at 9 Eastern time, we're going to have Jatana Jackson. So hopefully everybody saw the post today. Everybody watched her video. That's kind of like an overview of what she's going to be talking about. So I'm going to present her slides. So I have her deck, and I'm going to, load up her slides on this Google Drive, and that's what I'm currently showing you guys. So hopefully everybody can see my screen. Just yell at me at the chat or whatever if you can't see. But what this group is also going to consist of is it's going to consist of this Google Drive, and this Google Drive is going to be a collaboration where everybody can collaborate. And I've already pre-populated with a lot of information. And one of those is going to be Jatana's deck that I was talking about. And it includes, in this drive, it includes a link, a document for her event that she talks about. I went out and I found it, and I grabbed the link, and I grabbed all of her posts, and I grabbed her pictures. So everything that she talks about is in this folder, and I'm going to give you guys a link to this folder. But let me continue on with the other webinars that we're going to do. Next Monday, we're going to get Leah and Jason, who are going to talk to us, and they're also running free events, and free events are helping Leah get SC50 every single month. So we all know she's a superstar. Now she has branded herself as the athletic writer, but she also uses free boot camps. So she uses them in a different way than Jatana does, and that's completely fine. She does things differently. She doesn't run them out of an event. She'll run them out of a private group. So there's different ways of doing it, but you can decide for yourself what works best for you. So we just want to give you, different options in this class and this training. Hopefully get your wheels spinning. Think about how you want to do things. Give you different options, things like that. So. Are you guys having audio issues, or is it okay? Kind of choppy still. Okay. Just reading all the messages. Okay, so in addition, the last webinar is going to be on content, and it's going to be what you should be posting about in your event, you know, and how to get people to connect with you, because that's a big part of it. You know, just having the event and, you know, coming up with the schedule is only, you know, 10%. Really, the real work is, you know, what do you do every day? What do you do to connect with people? You know, what are you posting? And you know, are you commenting on their stuff and stuff like that? So it's a lot like running a challenge group, but there is a skill to it and an art to it. And one of my diamond coaches, Brian Roca, is an expert at this, so he's going to be giving the final webinar along with me on, you know, the type of content that you should be posting and ways to get people to engage. So topics, the daily topics. Basically, I want to go over tools that will help you create the event and advertise the event and be useful in tracking people in your event and things like that. So I'm going to go over tools, and every day is going to be a different topic, a different tool. And basically, I'm going to tell you about a tool. You know, like tomorrow is going to be PicMonkey. So I'm going to tell you about a tool. I'm going to give you some videos on to watch on how to do PicMonkey if you're not familiar with it. Now, you can do different tools if you want. That's fine. I'm just giving you some free, simple tools, which a lot of coaches use, like Jatana mentioned in her, you know, her video that she uses PicMonkey. So, you know, it's easy and free. So that's the key. So, you know, I'm going to tell you to go out, get a PicMonkey account, you know, play with it, you know, come up with a banner that you can use for your free event, you know, and the next day it'll be something else. You know, I'm going to tell you guys about a like page. If you don't have a like page, you're going to need to create a like page. Okay. It's the perfect time to start. So I'm going to tell you how to create a like page. We're not going to get into everything you need to know about a like page, but a like page is good because you need a like page in order to do advertising. And we're going to advertise your event, okay? And that's how you're going to get into your cold market. So one way that you can get is, like Jatana said, you know, one thing that she'll talk about on Wednesday is I asked her, how did she get 5,000 people to attend her event? Well, she said she invited, I don't know, about 900 of her friends. And then, like she said, she asked her friends to invite her friends, their friends, right? So all of her friends invited friends. And then she also, what she didn't say is she also ran an ad. She ran a $10 ad, and she was targeting moms, stay-at-home moms. So her target criteria were women between the ages of, I think, 25 and 35. And I think she said that she targeted people who watched Oprah and Dr. Phil. Okay, so she was looking at stay-at-home moms who were couch potatoes, you know, who liked, you know, Oprah and Dr. Phil. So, you know, just from that and all the friends and the friends of friends, she got 5,000 people. So, you know, just start thinking about who your niche could be and who you could go after. It doesn't have to be, you know, very specific. Obviously, she went after women, you know, who is a pretty broad category. So, you know, like she said, she doesn't go after men. She doesn't even accept men into her challenges. She wants women who are, you know, that are her target, right? That are close to her, that are similar to her. Now me, I'm probably going to be, I've always been more of a generalist. So I open it up to everybody. So men and women. But, you know, if you want men only, you can do that. Women only, it's totally up to you. So I'm going to talk about, you know, how to do a Facebook ad for your event. That's going to be key. Then we're going to talk about, you know, how to track for your event. I'm going to tell you how to create a form. So she talked about the Woofu form. I'm going to give you, you know, Woofu as an example, or a Google form. And I'm going to walk you through how to create a Google form, how to create spreadsheets and things like that. So I think that'll be useful for you guys. And the last thing is the call to action. And she talked about that, and you guys even asked questions about it already. You know, like, what was that PIO post that she made, and where did she make it? You know, obviously that needs to be in the event, so that's towards the end. You're going to do your call to action, and that's where you say, you know, I have 10 spots open. You know, who wants in to my 21-day fix extreme or whatever, you know, you want to promote. You know, say, I have a test group that I'm starting, and I've got, you know, 10 spots, you know, or whatever, 50 spots, you know, who wants in? And then typically, you know, she'll have them fill out a form, and I think Leah does as well. You fill out a form, you get their information, you contact them, you set up a meeting with them, a phone. We'll discuss all those different strategies for that call to action. And then, you know, one of the main goals of this is not necessarily to sell challenge packs. The main goal of this is to get a following for us, for you, you know. So it's like, I have a lot of coaches, you know, who are kind of struggling on, you know, they go talk to a lot of people are interested, but then they can't close the deal on them, right? Or I have the same problem with my Facebook ads. It's like, I'll run an ad, I'll get 50 people that respond that are interested. But, you know, 99% of them won't be interested in actually buying it when they find out how much it costs, or that it even costs money, you know? So I think, you know, just by advertising it as a free event, we're going to get all those people, hopefully, you know, the 100% of the people that, you know, we talk to that turn us down are now going to come to our event. They're going to participate for 30 days. They're going to get engaged. They're going to trust you, right? Which is what we want. And they're going to follow you. They're going to start following you. So one of the goals is, you know, for them to friend you, for them to like your like page and start following you, you know? So like Jatana says, you want to make sure your timeline is ready for them to see. You know, clean it up if you need to. You know, you want to be posting, you know, motivational stuff on there. You know, like Jatana said that she had a challenge group ad already posted on her timeline, so that when they friended her, that was the first thing that they saw. So, I mean, she had people signing up right away. She didn't even have to wait until the end of the 30-day free trial period. So we're going to talk about all different kinds of strategies. You don't have to have a 30-day event. You know, there's plenty of coaches that do 10-day clean eatings. You know, I was probably thinking of doing like a 21-day challenge. So let me just show you some things in this this directory here, this Google Drive. If you guys don't have Google Drive yet, or Google Docs account, go create one. All right. So I'm going to give you a link, and everybody's going to have access to this shared drive, and we're all going to be able to collaborate together. So, you know, I want you guys to add content to this. You know, feel free to change things. If you see a post that has a typo in it, you know, feel free to fix it. If you want to add some more posts, great, you know. So the first thing is, let's just look at, you know, this was the picture that Jatana posted, right? So, I mean, it's a 30-day challenge. So I give you that picture. If you want to use that, I think that one's more geared towards women, obviously. So I even have there's a beginner one here, which is a team engage one. So you can see it starts out with 5 jumping jacks and ends, you know, with 20 jumping jacks and 20 bicycles and, you know, 20-second plank. So, I mean, that's more of a beginner one. If you want a more complicated one, I have a 21-day one here, or a 30-day that you can use. Or you can create your own, like Jatana said in the video. You can go search, you know, 30-day free challenge, and you will find 100 examples of what you can use. There's squat challenges, there's arm challenges, there's whatever challenges you want. You can look, and there's different ways of doing it. Like, you can give them the whole schedule up front, Or, you know, what Leah does, and I'm sure she will talk about it, is she gives it to them on a daily basis. So not this picture, I think it was this picture, where, so she'll give them, you know, it's day 2, and today you're doing 10 in and outs, you know, 10 of these, 10 of those type things, which is a great idea because, you know, they have to come every day to find out what they need to do, you know, that day. So, and then I've seen Christina Earhart, she'll do like a mix. She'll give them the schedule that's posted, you know, as the event picture, but then every day she gives them a picture of her with what they need to do. So, you know, however you want to do it. Let's see, there is the free post. I have a document here which has currently 6 posts in it. But there's a post on drinking water. There's a post on food is medicine, you know. So these are just some posts that we put together that you can use. You can also use, obviously, the challenge group guides that Beachbody offers. That might be good for pulling out some generic posts, you know, some posts that aren't necessarily about a particular workout program or about Shakeology. Brian added some of his posts in here that you can take a look at. If you have, you know, some other good posts that you've used in your challenge group, you know, feel free to add them to this document, this free fitness post document that you wouldn't mind sharing with others. And then that way we can all collaborate and use each other's posts. So let's see, we also have a printable version, a 21 and a 30-day of those workouts that people can download. I have Leah's 7 steps, but I'll let her talk about her process first. I have a clean eating menu in here. So if you want to share a clean eating, I think it's a 10-day clean eating menu that somebody put together, you're welcome to do that. Let's see, I have Jatana's event in here, and I even grabbed, I'll bring this up. I even grabbed her initial post. So remember she talked about in the video that, you know, she gives them, you know, here's a video on how to do a proper squat. Here's a video on how to do a proper push-up. Basically, these are not her videos. It's not her doing the workout. She just went to YouTube and found you know, some good examples. And I think that's a great thing to do. You know, if you're not a personal trainer, you know, just find a video of somebody who is and have them demonstrate. I even grabbed like her day 1 post where she gives some useful tips on how to eat and things like that. So, you know, I grabbed a few of her posts that you can take a look at, or you can go to the actual event, which is this Facebook link right here. And you can look at it yourself and look at everybody's posts. But, you know, I try to pick out a few of the useful posts that I thought we could reuse. You know, here's Christine's. I went to hers and I grabbed hers as well. This is Christina Earhart, so you can look at her free event that she's been running. She's been running these for many months and has been pretty successful at it as well. I even grabbed another one down here from another coach that I saw. So there's a lot of coaches that are doing these now. I know that I talked to Melanie Mitro the other week. I had a private meeting with her. And, you know, she had mentioned that these free challenges is something that her team does as well. They'll typically do like 10-day clean eating challenges. But, you know, clean eating, fitness challenges, whatever, it's just a way to get people to engage with you, to trust you, and then, you know, hopefully you'll be able to convert them into a challenge group and into a paid group. So I know I run a multi-coach group with all my coaches. You know, we call it our premier coach group, and I think it'll be perfect if we can get, you know, these free challenge groups and then transitioning, you know, a lot of the people into our paid premier groups, where then we can, you know, talk to them about, we'll get them doing Beachbody programs. We'll get them to do Shakeology, and then we'll get them to become coaches, hopefully, and join our team and continue with us. So this is a process that I would like to start for our team. I think it would be great as we get new coaches signed up. We do one of these boot camps, and we can kind of tie it in with a Coach Basics as well. We'll teach them how to run a free event. And then while they're running the free event, we'll talk to them about Coach Basics, like, how to hit Success Club, how to get to Emerald, how to do coach placement, all these type of things, right? And we'll just continue the webinars for like a 30-day period. So that's kind of my vision. Like right now, I just wanted to do the boot camp for all of you guys, because I know we have like 60 people signed up, because I know everybody's interested in this topic. I think it's going to be great for us and our team and our business. So, so basically after the 10 days, let me get to that. After the 10 days, what we're going to do is we're all going to start our own free event. So now we're not going to be doing these events together. These events are meant for you to do individually. Now you can get together and do them with other coaches, but I would recommend that you do them on your own, because you want to advertise on your own. You want to get your friends in the group. You want your friends to invite your friends, and you want everybody that comes to that group to be, eventually, be on your team, be following you. You don't want them following 5 different coaches, and then when it's time for them to order, who are they going to go to? It's too confusing. So you're going to be running your own event individually, but we're all doing it together at the same time. Does that make sense? So we're all going to be in the group together. We're all going to be collaborating together. We're all going to be sharing each other's events and posts, and we're going to use this Google Drive as a repository where we can collaborate and share stuff together. I'm going to keep the Facebook group open, and you guys can, continue to use it during your challenge period, and, say what's working, what's not working, share posts and pictures and ads and things like that. So I think it's going to be a great, 10-day boot camp is just the kickoff. And then, the remaining 30 days is just going to be for us to go through this group initially. And, for those coaches that have already been doing this, you guys, can help mentor some of the newer coaches, kind of jump in and say, answer their questions, or what things they could be doing better, when they post their link for people to look at or whatever. So there's different ways of doing it, as I talked about. I mean, you can run it right out the event page, just like Jatana does. Now you can run this event right from your personal event page, or you can run it from your like page. From your like page, you can create an event. I would say that there's advantages and disadvantages to both. I'm thinking about doing it right from my like page. That way I can promote, I can run ads right from my like page, and I can keep it separate from my personal. The disadvantage there is if you're running it from your personal, it makes it real easy for people to friend you, right? Because they're seeing you post and not your page post, So I mean that's what Jatana does, and it works real well for her. I mean they just send her friends request, and she's never been put in Facebook jail for doing this. So I know some of you guys are worried about that, but she runs them every month. She runs them with her coaches, and they've never had any problem with doing these free events on their personal page. Now, if you want to do it on your business page, that you can do that too. It would work basically the same way. I think the great thing about running it out of the event is, it's very easy for people to join. Like if you ran an ad, it's going to, have a going button right there on the ad, and people can click that like they want to attend. And when they do that, they're going to automatically start seeing your posts every day, and they're going to start seeing everything because they clicked going. You don't have to then transition them to a group. Now, if you prefer, I know that Leah and a lot of other coaches use groups. Now, groups are great because if you can get everybody transferred into the group, then you have a closed group and people feel more secure about posting sweaty pictures or whatever, that you ask them. So that's a great thing about a group. And then once you have them in that group, you can, keep adding people to the group. You can, keep messaging them in the group. So the groups is a great thing as well. So, I mean, you guys can decide if you want to use groups or if you want to use just the event page like Jatana does. I mean, there's different ways of doing it. There's no right, there's no wrong. So, what else? Let's see. I guess at this point, why don't we just go ahead and open the lines for questions? I see a lot going on in the chat. I am not reading it. So if anybody has a question, why don't you just unmute yourself and ask the question? All right, who wants to ask the first question? Come on.
Hi, Greg, can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, one of the questions I had asked earlier on the side was, how many likes do you need to have on your like page in order to create a lookalike ad? Do you know?
Oh, that's a tough question. Does anybody on this call know the answer to that?
Because I'm trying to grow right now and I only have about 140 likes on my like page, but I have a group where I have about 270 people.
So you're saying that you only have 140 likes on your page, so it won't let you do what? It won't let you clone an ad?
Yeah, it won't let me create a lookalike ad.
Oh, Is that where you say create similar ad type thing?
Corey McAllister, help me out here because you know what I'm talking about. Yes, okay.
Okay, Corey, you want to answer this question?
Come on, don't be shy.
That's right.
I don't know.
Oh, Jason Wagner says 200.
Well, I think that you can necessarily tell me. I think that dots on the web page, I don't think there's a limit to that. It's just not particularly advantageous to only dot I have people. Unless that content is really super targeted. It's very, very targeted, and it's absolutely like nailed to the niche, then that's gonna work. And I've seen growth from that really, really rapidly.
Yeah, so I mean, I think for the purpose of this event, we're going to be doing things very simple, so not necessarily we're going to be creating lookalike ads or lookalike audiences or anything like that. We're just going to, I'm going to tell you how to create an event, and then I'm going to tell you how to promote that event, and I'm going to walk you through a very simple, here's how to create a simple ad to promote your event, and you can select your target audience and things like that. So we're not going to be getting into, how to create lookalike audiences and lookalike ads and things like that in Facebook. That'll be a separate training that we do. Okay, what other questions?
Okay. I do have another question.
Okay.
I'm full of questions.
Mm-hmm. And who is this, by the way?
What you're doing with the event is you're kind of sending out, what's that?
Who is this talking? Is this Laura?
Oh no, this is Casey Willett. I'm Corey's sister.
Okay, Casey. All right.
So with the event, you're basically sending out an invitation to everyone, and then once you have everyone, you put them in a group. Is that what I understand?
Right, so as I mentioned, you can either put people into a group or you can run it out of the event. So Jatana, she doesn't bother moving people to a group. She just runs it right out of the event.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right on her event page.
Hi, Greg. That's what I was going to ask. Are you going to show us how to host it out of the income page?
Yes, yeah. I'm going to have everybody create an event, and you can create the event from your personal page, and I'll show you guys how to do that. Or you can create it from your like page, and basically you just go to that event and you just post, you know, in that event, just like it is in a group. The thing about an event, though, is it's public. Anybody can see it. So when, you know, the people come to the event and they post in the event, then their friends see it, right? So that's a good thing, because now their friends see that they've joined this event and they see that they're doing these free workouts, so they'll automatically come and join too, because they want to get in on the event. Where if it's a group, you got to then move people from the event into the group, right? You have to get them to move, and then you know, then the event or the group is closed, so people can't see what's going on in the group. They're going to be hesitant to join the group. You know, you're always going to have, you know, it's like even when I created the event for this training, you know, there was 150 people that were going, and I had, you know, a hard time getting everybody into the group, and we're all coaches and we're engaged, you know, think about people, you know, so does that make sense? Think about,
Yes, it does.
well, yeah, regular people getting them into a group. So,
I got you.
all right, what else?
I came on late because I had to update my Adobe, but when I was looking at the YouTube video, she was stating something, and I wanted to clarify. When you do the group invitation on your page, do you have to do, because first she said that I did a group invitation and she had the pilot picture on there. How do you do that? Like, how do you pick the pictures and the banners and all that stuff? I don't have that. I haven't got to that talent yet.
Right. Yeah, that's what we talked about. So we're gonna start with that tomorrow. So I'm gonna introduce you to PicMonkey, which is gonna tell you how to create those pictures and banners and things like that. That'll help you out. Okay.
Okay, I came on late, so I didn't know if you guys were talking about it.
Yeah, I did. Don't worry, it's coming.
Okay.
Yep. Anyone else? Any other questions? We have a lot of people on this call, so I'm sure we have more questions. Did any?
Okay.
Yes.
So once your group is over, what do you do with these people generally? Like, do you put them in another group after the 10 days, or do you have an exit video and kind of guide them where they need to go next?
Yeah, so there's different things that you can do, different approaches. I know what Leah does, and she'll talk about this, is she doesn't, you know, do it out of the event. She puts people into the group to start with, and then she just leaves them in the group, and every month she'll keep adding, you know, her next challenge to the same group. What Tana does, that she mentioned in the video, is she transitions people to her general group. You know, she tells people, yeah, well, she, you know, does the call to action. She tries to get them into a challenge group. She tries to get them into her paid premier group, right? But for the ones that don't want to, then she tries to get them into her general group, you know, which is kind of what she called her holding group. And, you know, obviously she'll, keep telling them about the next event that she does, the next free event. They'll probably want to join that. She'll tell them about upcoming deals and specials and give them daily motivation and stuff. So I think those are your two basic options.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg, the last about 30 seconds, you sounded like an Android.
An Android? Sorry about that.
Yeah, your sound is still off. So I'll kind of repeat what you probably said. And there's basically, this is Jason Wagner, there's basically two options for the most part when it comes to what to do with people. One would be at the end of that free challenge.
Your line is now muted. Your line is now unmuted.
In that group for your next paid challenge group. Or you can do it one-on-one with people by messaging them. With those people, you can then leave them in that group, and then your next group starts with that group, so it's only one group ever running. That's what Leah does. Or another technique that most people do is actually graduate those people into just a general accountability group until they are ready to purchase the challenge pack. And I think we lost Greg since his photo is no longer on top.
I'm still here.
Anybody else have any questions until Greg pops back in?
Can you hear me, Jason?
No, you still sound like R2D2.
Ah, all right.
You're welcome, Casey. But yeah, there's those two ways are the ways, basically the ways to do it. And the other advantage of creating a Google Doc in the beginning is collecting their email, because then you can start emailing people. You can use something like MailChimp or some other nice form where you email people newsletters or notices of your next upcoming challenge group. You can embed video links into those nice emails. So then you start looking much more professional rather than just messaging people on Facebook. So that's definitely the advantage of also collecting the emails in the beginning of your event. Greg's still probably off because I still hear the robot chatter. Anybody else have any questions that might be able to be answered by me instead of Greg? I know I'm only 3 stars and he's like 8. So I think I can probably handle it. Yes, Leah never runs out of anything to say.